Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a treat. For our next presentation, we have Daniele, Head of Engineering at Electrolux, and he'll be sharing the very exciting transformation journey they are on. Daniele started as a software engineer, crafting microservices for media and fintech. At Electrolux, he leads one of the company's most innovative engineering teams, promoting collaboration, innovation, and laughter. He's a master at solving enigmatic puzzles of unconventional business requirements, one API at a time. And his expertise includes subscriptions, payments, and pizza. With a 100% chance I'll butcher his last name, please welcome to the stage, Daniele Autizi!
Thank you, Vival. The first mistake, I forgot it. So, hello, Dr. attendees. I'm so excited to be here and showcase, of course, a big shout out to all the organizers who made this possible. And what else? Yes, they hooked me up with the amazing opportunity to present and represent Electrolux and showcase that we are way more than just selling appliances. Sure. Of course, it all began with a sexy product called kerosene lamps in the market. But then, what really makes Electrolux stands out is the knack, our knack for innovation. And let me further share with you some numbers as evidence of our standing as a leading global company, reinventing taste, care, and well-being in over than 120 markets. And our main strategic drivers are to act sustainably, create better experiences, and always improve. Shape living for the better. But of course, everything, however, I would like to have your attention regarding the past 5 years, where essentially Electrolux took the important strategic decision to shift to the direct-to-consumer business. Because this important direction was needed for having a real digital transformation and in order to be in contact with consumers and create the right connections with them, right relationship, and providing a bunch of service can make a better brand experience. We are changing the game in how we connect with the consumer, essentially. And of course, everything starts with ascetic purchase of appliance. Yeah, you go there in a physical store, on one of the web channels, you buy something, you get this back home, you plug in, and that's it. But is that really value? Is that a really connection with a brand, with Electrolux? They feel like there is a kind of good vibe feeling with a brand? I don't think so. For that reason, we wanted to ensure that happy consumers can become the best loyal brand ambassadors. So to make that possible, we need to create the right vibes, the right feelings. How? Services, again, digital transformation. We want that the consumer feels supported, they feel protected, they feel connected, they feel cared for, and also they feel at home, and they feel home. And in order to do that, again, you cannot just give all those values and feelings and vibes through a physical device. You need something more. And then this new business model for the group was crucial and it required a digital transformation which was really impactful. And we started 5 years ago. So thank you for joining. Sorry, be gentle with me. I'm newbie. This is my first event ever. You notice it. And I serve as head of engineering at sales in the technology department at Electrolux. Despite my current role, I have more than 15 years of coding under my belt, and I still feel engineers like you. So sorry if I will not be that technical today, but I'm with you, people. And yes, let's move ahead. So now time for MongoDB. Okay, how we introduced the MongoDB in Electrolux in our landscape. Initially, we started with a kind of a toy cache layer where we just offload a bit our monolithic CRM, which was facing really bad performances. And then we moved ahead with a fun project about a predictive engine for spare parts. It was a really good project. Then we moved ahead with an operational distributed data layer. It's here where we put a lot of effort, and we are going on with the iterative and in process to improve this product. And actually, this represents quite a relevant project for incoming launches, massive launches in North America, and LATAM first to land into APAC in a couple of years. And I'm not going through the details, but this is quite important for us because it will speed up the rollout process and the scaling up phase on top of our CRM. And then the last platform we built, implemented by using massively MongoDB is an insurance and appliance or leasing platform for sales in Electrolux. And that's what we are going to put our focus on today, built by Nexture. What is Nexture? Nexture is one of many teams, agile teams in Electrolux, part of these digital transformations. And then it was founded back in 2018 as a startup, a part of Electrolux, and I'm part of it. That's why I'm going to focus on that. Sorry, people. And so the main focus, of course, the main focus of this team was to accelerate innovative peace-of-mind solutions for consumers. You have already seen two crucial key points for Electrolux in this digital transformations: consumer focus and then also innovation. But what is important to highlight in this case for Nexture is the acceleration. We were built to accelerate and to go to the market in a nutshell as soon as possible, launching. Because of course you can build people. The engineers, we always want to build the best solution, even if it will take 2 or 3 years. Something that we want to broadly share with everybody, but that is not what the business wants. We have to be in the middle. That's why, in my opinion, it's way better to launch, to create a prototype, have fun with it, create the right stack, go to the market, analyze, check investigations of what we are doing. Are we doing the right thing, the wrong thing? Waste it if needed, and try again. And in this, through this iterative process, we can have good results, analyze if we were in the right path, and attack the consumer needs as soon as possible. Because consumer needs change on a minute base. Okay. Then the first goal, actually, for us was, guys, you have to go live with an extended warranty. So that's your first task. And a simple product, insurance, basically. And I wanted us to go live with in Poland first, by simplifying the model with just 3 attributes, no more than that: accidental damage, pricing, and duration. And so for that point in time, it was pretty simple. Of course, you need a platform to sell this stuff, so that required a contract handling, communication flows with the consumers, and then payment solution, so a wrapper for the payment provider, because we didn't have time to go for PCI compliant solution internally. And then integrations with the Electrolux ecosystem, like ERP and then financial flows and many other things. For instance, to handle the repair outcome coming from other systems. Plus reports, because people want to see the data. And the call center tool, because that was the first sales channel we were launching initially. And so this is a draft, our simple standard platform back in time, in 2019, when we launched Poland. And as you can see, it's pretty standard, simple, highly scalable, and so running 7 containerized coding microservices running on AWS AKS. Only relational database at that point in time. And then the model was so simple. And then integration with AWS payment provider and simple data lake. No rocket science. Then at some point, MongoDB. Well, extended warranty was not flying. To be frank with you, we were failing. We were trying to launch in parallel Germany, Switzerland, Hungary. Nothing happened. We were there applying changes here and there in the relational database, running it, and then they will, no, you have to roll back. We don't care anymore about this requirement. What? Yeah, that is the reality. And then legal issues. Oh, you cannot imagine how complicated the insurances are in each market. And then here and there, postponing. Essentially, there was a lot of frustrating in engineering team, in the financial area, in Electrolux in general. They actually was thinking about shut us down. They say, what's your meaning if you just sell few nuts in Poland? And then luckily arrived Italy. And they say, you know what, fantastic. Then, yeah, extended warranty fine, but can you do fixed price repair and inspection fee? But those are totally different products. What is this? Say, yeah, but come on, it's not that difficult. Yeah, for sure. For business, everything is simple. But we said yes, we didn't want to fail. And then what's the deadline? 3 weeks. Wow, okay. We said yes. We did it. And then I said, OK, if you say yes, then I have one more thing for you. This was September, going live in October with you, 2 new products. Then for Christmas time, people, we really want to launch a repair and protect, a very complicated product, bundled product composed of an initial repair and, depending on the outcome of the repair, a lot of different flows to switch to the extended warranty, with all the complications about and the issues regarding the extended warranty. So it was really a drama. Well, I said, yes, we can do that. Engineering team wanted to really kill all of the business people, but that's what we said. OK, let's try. In the worst case, guys, let's open to a new job. And then we said, why MongoDB then? We were investigating on something different, and we said, you know what, after 1 day of investigation phase, we say, MongoDB. Why? Because essentially, we need a flexible data model. We don't know what expecting with the repair and protect. We don't know. The requirements are not there. People don't know what they really want. They are asking for. So we need really flexibility. Let's start with something, prototyping something tomorrow. And then also, we knew that the performance-wise we were OK. For us, rolling out in terms of acceleration was a crucial point. So yeah, that is perfect. Horizontal scaling versus vertical. Not talking about that, but let's go with that. And also, one important aspect, cost. Because our CEO was saying, hey, guys, I don't know what you are doing there, but pay attention, we don't have that much money anymore. It's Christmas. OK, so it was pretty cheap for us. And technically, we were running a Kotlin microservice with a Spring Boot and Spring Data JPA as dependency. So for us, it was really quick to say, let's add the Spring Data MongoDB. And in 3 hours, we were able to create an account on AWS, deploying our microservice on Kubernetes, and run it. And we were just playing around the new data model, JSON data model, with our staging environment. That was super quick. And luckily, we took that step, that decision, because 1.5 years later, look at the creativity of our business team in Electrolux. So this was, do you remember, we started with a duration, accidental damage and price, not prices. And then, this is just a draft. We have way more than that in terms of complexity data model, because along the time, we launched also not a single one-off payment, but also subscription engine. We really wanted to position ourselves as a subscription solution in Electrolux. And for this reason, we implemented a total new solution. So the complexity is way, way more than what you can see in front of you. 1.5 years later, without MongoDB, how could you imagine how long this might require to sketch and drop down in a relational database with all relations? But so what we analyzed and what we noticed that MongoDB, so the 3 crucial main points for us after 3 years of using MongoDB. Time to market. This was important, most important thing for us. And so faster prototyping. You never have the business requirements in time. Ooh, you can dream for it, never in time. And also, if you get them, part of them, they're not clear, and they change along the way. It's always like that. But at the same time, what never change is the deadline. So that's why fast prototyping, we don't care. We just go live as soon as we start to code since day one. And flexibility, data structure, you saw the data structure evolved and varied. It's not like I saw Walter, was really interesting and inspiring. They have massive megabytes documents, so we don't do that. But if you see exponentially growth of our model, it's there. So we are moving faster, faster, and faster to define our model in general. And then scalability, easier sharding. We already touched this point. Look at this. We started in 2019 with Poland and Italy first, and then gradually we were part of, Nexture was part of the European business area. So that's why you see almost every country in Europe covered, with a bunch of integration with the rest of all the stakeholders in Electrolux. And you see how many countries we launched with 8 sales channels, so not just call center anymore, plus many different thousands combinations of product definition. Now we have been working in a fantastic journey to launch North America in 2024, and then already in the roadmap, LATAM and APAC. And this is, of course, possible through the new organization that we have done in IT in Electrolux, where many teams are working together in a super agile way, and we are in really good time for transformation. Then, second major point, consumer and user experience. So we are consumer-focused people. That is the whole point. Electrolux just asking for that, of course, and profit. Performance-wise, we know that better performance means higher conversion rate. We noticed that by analyzing the data that we store. We initially just dropped there in the MongoDB, and then after a few years, we started to analyze it. And for this reason, in the worst case that we have in a web channel, like the German checkout you see there in front of you, we have 700 milliseconds, which is not amazing, but it's still way less than 2.5 seconds. That is a known fact. That the known fact is it represents the maximum time that a consumer can spend in front of the page to wait for the loading. And we can even improve this way more, but I'm talking about the worst case, where we have thousands of offers to surf through and query to show the price ranges and many other information that are hidden there in this page, but it's on the back. And again, experience also for users, because imagine that we have different sales channels, call center. In the call center, there is an agent, and there is on the other side of the phone, there is a consumer waiting with no pages in front of him, okay, for completing the purchase. It's not a fantastic experience. Personally, I don't know. I prefer web channels. But anyhow, so the agents have to be quick to complete the purchase. They cannot lose the purchase, okay? They get commission as well. So it's, it's an incentive. And that's why we load a bunch of data on that page, as you can see in front of you, all coming from different sources, different integrations, and loading all the roles, what the agent can do depending on the airbag solution behind. So it's quite complicated, 400 milliseconds. And that's why, proudly, I can share with you, agents like this system, and they are happy with. What else? High availability. You heard this more and more during the day, and I will continue to hear about. For us, I wanted to highlight the importance of no data loss, because for consumers and checkout pages, because payments can fail for multiple reasons. The payment provider is down, or maybe wrong security code, or credit card expired. We don't care. We really don't care. Even though business people might be upset here, we can call them later if you have the consumer and the checkout data with you stored. So what we do is we split the way we store the data. And for us, consumer and checkout are crucial. Never single data has to be lost, never. There is an Italian saying that goes for, there is always time to pay and die. So this stands for us, okay, it's our internal motto. Then, coding advantages, last point. Up to 3 times less development overhead. In front of you, you have a draft of Flyway. In Spring Boot, we use also Flyway. You don't have a dedicated database engineer. Imagine that I'm talking about all these things made with 3 backend engineers and 1 front-end engineer in the first 2 years. Then we made all the changes, and we did this scale up in 2021 by increasing the size of the team up to 7 backend engineers and one front-end engineer. So that's what we have. So at that point in time, we couldn't allocate that much time on the relational database. So what we did is that we use Flyway, that is a framework. I don't know for those who don't know. It's a framework that simplifies and helps you with the versioning and managing the schema changes. So essentially, you type down, you create a new SQL file every time that you need to create even a single index or add a new field in your database, and then on your table. And then you commit that one, you map it with your code, in this case, Spring Boot data. So you have all these kind of annotations that you have to know. So if you have a junior developers, maybe you can struggle with this. You need more time and so on. And then whenever you do the commit, those changes will be released, deployed in your environment, staging in your cluster. So this, what that it means? That means that if you want to do a rollback, you have to go back to your code, add a new SQL file, and alter your table again. And then do a new commit, push it, and then release again, deploy again. Then look at how it looks then instead when we move to MongoDB. You have a document mapping. Since this is Spring Boot MongoDB, I hope that most of you already are familiar with. And it's very simpler, cleaner. And this brings me to the next point, up to 5 times faster code reviews. This is something that we don't compromise with anybody, with the deadlines, with the business. We always go to this crucial step of the coding lifecycle. We never we'll never skip the code reviews. Even though we have to work in parallel, even we are stressed, we have a deadline to reach, we don't care. Code review, we never skip it. For this reason, for us, just having a solution to reduce the time just because of the simplicity of the code, well, when you are time limited, it's crucial, it's very good. And we notice this, again, not because we skip it, but because the code is simpler. Beginner friendly. We were always kind of lucky to find the right resources, skilled resources. But in the last time, it's getting really complicated. Also, when you want to scale up your team pretty quickly, you don't find all seniorities. Just that is a chimera. It doesn't exist. You have to go with a junior, and that's good because it's how you have to start from somewhere sooner or less. And by using MongoDB, we noticed that they can really be proficient since the very first day one. And they enjoy it. They see JSON. I don't know why people. I like relational. SQL. I was born with that, and I think the senior people here, that was a kind of military school. You have to go through SQL and left join. More complicated queries, and then everybody challenge you. The most senior people are really bad with you because they really want to put you under stress. That was our military school, SQL. Now they don't care that much, so they have fun with MongoDB. This was the story. That was the platform that has been running everywhere in Europe, selling a lot. Time for numbers later. And then, at some point, this kind of failing company became a kind of successful story. I see someone from Electrolux there, so I hope that they agree with me. and then, for this reason, we got promoted from the European business area to work at the group level. So that's why we started to work with North America. And then the first task we got onboarded to and to work with was a leasing product, very cool project called the Product as a Service. You can go there, you can subscribe, and you can get your air purifier, robot vacuum cleaner, whatever you want at home, even now, for free, for 14 days of trial. That's what the business asked me to tell you. And so essentially, the whole team was extremely happy because, of course, this is a kind of a sexy leasing model, right? We are talking about sustainability. So Electrolux really wanted to have us working with sustainability in a circular economy. And this is not just chat, the greenwashing, blah, blah. This is a real example. And I wanted us, because it's good business for both sides, for the consumer that doesn't need to deal with every time a new appliance, changes old, I want a new latest version. And then Electrolux can take these appliances, refurbish them, work, clean, has the best prices and value for the spares. So it's really good for both sides. And so we were super happy. And but there was something weird because, okay, why are they looking for us? And so it was smelling a bit fishy. And well, we realized it just 1 month later when they said, guys, okay, fantastic, you have to go live the 7th of June. yeah, but we are in January. Why? I mean, there is no time. See, we don't care. That is what it is. Well, we really wanted this project. We really want to work on this. And we took this opportunity to say, you know what, let's be pragmatic once again. So far, we never missed any single deadline. So we say, maybe this will be the first time, but we want to take this journey on our side. I can already spoil that we made it possible. We had to compromise a lot of the requirements by following the triangle, the constraint triangle. We clearly say that, OK, if you want this feature, then you have to get rid of the other, and so on. We made a fantastic job, and this was possible thanks to all the other Electrolux stakeholders that, even by blasphemous sentences, screaming around the corridors. They made this up. They made all the integrations happen, and helped us to deliver in time with their code as well. They prioritized, they postponed everything, and the other teams were kind of screaming, but we made it possible. So imagine here, there were this was possible again with a 7 backend engineer, 1 front-end engineer that, if you see, there is an hole on the bottom where you see web portal and warehouse, because the guy was on a honeymoon. So imagine we have to shift all the milestones here and there to make everybody in the team happy. We got so we are talking about 150,000 lines of code, 400 man days, 6 new integrations, bank ID, credit check. I would say mention CDC, consumer. I mean a lot of them, and 24 new microservices in 2 languages and over 15 MongoDB, so 15 DBs. This is really, thanks to MongoDB, we were able to do this because essentially we really needed flexibility. On this February 7th, we had barely 30% of requirements in place. The business said, okay, you know what, people, the only thing we know is that we want to charge consumers by the square meters that a robot vacuum cleaner clean the apartment of consumers. That's it. Wow, that is, I mean, all the edge cases, trial period ends, or maybe the appliance get disconnected. How do we manage all these use cases? We don't know. Ask the team that already done something similar. DPO team, I see someone representing it here as well. So we had to say, okay, let's go with the MongoDB pragmatic approach. We started to build a flexible model. We put a lot of abstraction interfaces everywhere, predicting, future case. And then we really bothered the team, DPO team, as you can see there, to get the data. And because people, but you know that we collected data of millions of appliances around the world, and they use MongoDB as well. But which data do you need? Man, I don't know. Business don't know. Why should I know? So let's do this. Give me what you have. No, I cannot give you thousands of millions of data. I mean, okay, give me a subset just to charge the consumer. Okay, thanks. And then we started with that approach. But then the business said, when we created this integration in 2 weeks, saving the raw data, then setting up pipelines to clean the data to clean and massage the data depending on the business needs that change it every day. And then we say, you know what, fantastic, I like it. Please, we want also to release air purifiers. What? But air purifiers don't have the square meters. Yeah, so fixed price. And maybe, you know what, we should tell the consumer when it's time to change the filters. How do we get this information? I don't know. Ask the DPO team, the guys. Yeah, and we had to go back and say, hey guys, you know that we have a roadmap, we have deadlines. Yeah, please do that. And we did it. We made it possible. Again, week by week, we implemented and improved the integration. And that is an example, because then we had to go through bank ID, because hey, I need in Sweden, we want to be cool, because you already done this with a bank ID, so we want to have that. Yes, and then, so let's implement the bank ID integration. Now we do with the vendor, because I already know people here, and in 2 weeks you're going to ask me to roll out in Denmark. So no, in Germany, and then no. So with the vendor, and then the last point is done. Bradstreet for the credit check. We are leasing quite expensive products, appliances. So they asked us, the business don't want to have loss, and they say, people, please, credit check. We have to ensure that we don't have any issue. Okay, perfect. When we applied for the vendor, then everybody in Electrolux start to say, stop, hold on, man, what are you doing? Cybersecurity, legal, you're touching the consumer sensitive informations. And then consumer data protection, yeah, fair. But then, okay, let's postpone it. No, we cannot. So essentially, yet again, abstraction, prediction of data, okay, and additional data, yeah, field called, with a very creativity, additional data, whatever it will come. And then we were able to do that, to store the data in a proper way, drafting it, and then only 10 days prior to the launch, we got the approval, and then we could sign off the contract with the vendor. And only at that point, we got the real data back, and we had to decide what to store and what not to store in our database. Encryption, and who has access, managing the access to this data, because you cannot imagine what you can get back from there in Sweden. And that was it. Next steps, guys, deeper investigation and usage of charts. We use different things, but we introduced the 1 year back charts. Financial team, all the two people that are using it are pretty happy, but it's very complicated to convince them to move away from something that I've been using for ages. Migrate payments model, which is the last small part of our data that we use with a relational database by using relational migrator. We have already been discussing this for months with the MongoDB. We are just trying to find the right room in our roadmap. Then queryable encryption, that is something I'm pushing the team for, because I would like to try and test it with the consumer's data, which is always a struggling point for most of you. I think that everybody here was struggling to query consumer's data, encrypted consumer data. I'm pretty sure. We use also Elasticsearch, blah, blah, but I think this is really the first question that you get every time you go in discussions, technical discussions with a business team, legal entity, cybersecurity team, and whatever in your team, in your companies. Then back in time, there was no support for Amazon, AWS, for Mongo Atlas. Now we want to try to see if it's worth or not to move that. We got some insights today that it's worth, so we will investigate on this. This is how the platform 2.0 looks like. So the first one evolved, and this will be used in the North American project. It will be used in, and then we will move the first platform, the remaining microservices into the new one in the next years after that, after the launch of North America. And this also support every kind of business that a subscription and payment that Electrolux needs from now on. Some numbers with you. We said, I want just to spend time on this one, the last one, which is the money. 22,000 euro back in December 2019. That was what we were producing, and we were pretty expensive. And that's 30 million in annual payments. That's what we had in December 2022. You see a bunch of things there, and I can just mention one, which is quite important, resilience. We faced only 1 hour of downtime in one single sales channel in 2022. Only 1 hour. Across all the countries, across all the 8 sales channels, only 1 hour. We were able to mitigate in time and store the data in MongoDB every time that for any issue that other integrations faced, even the payment provider, that we went down essentially from about 20 times last year. Thank you so much. I rushed quite a lot. I made some mistakes, but I'm new by. Thank you.